thank you to each of you for being here and for your testimony. And I so appreciate that we are looking at this issue. I'm from Tennessee. We have a lot of entertainers. The voice cloning is an issue. ChatGPT, being able to write a song that sounds like it would be in the style of so-and-so, some artist, that's an issue. And making certain that we're able to preserve these intellectual property rights is, this is coming up a lot as we talk with our entertainment community. So, and then also we have a lot of people that are doing work in the energy space, automobile manufacturers. And they're busy. Ford has done a huge investment in Tennessee with SK batteries. Billions of dollars there. GM has its Ultium battery facility in Tennessee. Now these innovators are saying, I want to hold my invention. And of course China, which we've discussed some today, is a pro at lifting intellectual property and not protecting that intellectual property. And I look at what they're doing, stealing it, our intellectual property, the emergence of China, and their aggressiveness in the field of AI. And Ms. Eliaru, I want to come to you on this. I pulled a number, 2021. China was the global leader for patent filings, and they had 1.59 million filings. They were double us. Then 2011 to 2021, Chinese AI-related patents accounted for nearly 75% of the global total. That should be a wake-up call to every one of us, especially those of us that represent so many innovators. And I decided to go on and look at what was happening with PTAB, because so many of our innovators have their patents challenged. And China has been very aggressive using this, and primarily ZTE and Huawei are the companies that are the leaders, if you will, in challenging U.S. patents. So, Ms. Eliaru, as we look at this and we look at the global marketplace, I want you to go a little bit further than you did in your response with Senator Tillis and talk for a minute about that threat that is there with China trying to dominate in this space to the point that they've doubled our number of filings. They are, they've got 75% of that global share, and then they're coming at it from the other angle, trying to discredit our patents. So.
Thank you, Senator, for that question. I think with respect to China's prolific patent filing, quantity does not always equate with quality. However, there are implications with those numbers. First, they're using it as a narrative that they're winning the tech competition.
Well, and that they're kind of blocking competitors, correct?
Absolutely. Okay. And so I think there's a real parties and interest issue, too, with China using our system against us.
I agree with that, and I think it's why we have got to push back on that narrative because of the numbers and the way they're trying to be the first to file in certain areas.
Agreed.
Yeah, I have quite a few concerns about that. And what they're going to do with really pushing through on this system and using the system of protection we have to advantage themselves. I do want to move to one other thing. I'd like for you to speak for just a minute about what we do to counter this aggressiveness. As you look at it, what steps would you say we need to take? And anybody else, after Ms. Eliaru weighs in on this, anybody else that has a suggestion, I'd love to hear that.
Thank you, Senator. I think the first thing we need to do is recognize IP policy as a national security priority across our departments and agencies. And as I mentioned earlier, we need a central entity with IP expertise that can coordinate across the government.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything to add?
Yes, thank you, Senator.
Salzberg.
I would just quickly add that we should fix patent eligibility under Section 101 for both software and diagnostics. And two, we should clarify conception law if the courts, and this body should do it if the courts and the Patent Office don't apply it properly to make sure that the use of AI is encouraged and adopted by American innovators.
Okay. Anything else from any of you? No. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.